Know if maybe that's why they're trying to launch a live service game, like launch something lean that can just generate revenue. I don't know, but I think their Horizon Hunters Gathering looks stinking terrible.
I agree on that.
Because to be honest, the PC landscape far exceeds the console landscape. I mean, in what way? Are you talking about in the number of games you can buy? Yes. Are you talking about the potential power threshold? For sure.
What else is there to talk about, right? In the games, right? As far as games that you can play, the whole entire point of fucking gaming and power threshold, right? If you want to get a nice rig or whatever, yes. You can custom build a rig to the power that you want. But I mean, by him saying landscape, I think he's just more so talking about like the ecosystem, the fact that, you don't have to worry about being walled in and everything. You get access to more games, like he mentioned. 1,000%, the PC landscape is the best one out there.
But I think somebody was making that point consistently on my... I tweeted out the video of Hiroki Totoki talking about wanting PlayStation to be the best place to play.
Oh, yeah.
Nope. Not happening.
Yeah, we all know that's not the case.
View of the user. And a bunch of people kept talking and saying, but it's not the best place to play because my PC is so much stronger. And people were very...
I don't think it's that, right? They always try to make it like about the power and everything. And don't get me wrong, like that is a part of the whole PC master race and everything. If you want to build a powerful rig, then you can do so. But when he's talking about the landscape, brother, you're in PC territory. And the main thing about PC is freedom. Right? Freedom, not having to pay to access your internet, having access to multiple storefronts, right? Cheaper sales and everything. I mean, the list just goes on and on.
Good to respond and say, yeah, the average consumer doesn't care about that.
Oh.
Do you think the average consumer cares that, like, well, no, you could spend $3,000 or $4,000 and have a much higher level experience?
Well, he's moving the goalposts. Nobody's talking about spending three grand or whatever, and you can get a PC that outperforms the PS5 Pro for the same price as a Pro. Right? No one's talking about that. People are talking about the ecosystem. That's all, right? And, you tweeted out a video of Hiroki Totoki saying that PlayStation is the best place to play,
Nope. Not happening.
People are just looking at that and saying that's not the case.
Like, imagine looking at, like, the average sales of an electronic device, like a television, or the average type of car that sells on a new car lot, right?
Here we go. Analogies.
You could certainly go to those people and say, listen, I know this company is saying that they want you to think theirs is the best, but you could spend twice as much as you spent and get a much better car.
Here we go, right?
Stop the fear mongering.
So now we're making it twice the price. Now you're going into like the performance aspect, which don't get me wrong, I do think the performance aspect does play a role in it, but he's talking about the landscape, having access to more games. He's talking about the freedom, right? He's talking about the freedom, brother, right? Like he's somewhat shifting the goalposts.
You could spend twice as much as you spent and get a much bigger or better television.
You don't have to spend twice as much to get a PC that will outperform the Pro.
Do you think the consumer doesn't know that? Do you think that's lost on the consumer? They're like...
if you know that, then why are you getting so mad, right? why are you pushing back so much on this simple statement that the PC landscape is the best landscape, right? Especially when you said yourself to start this all off that it has more games, right? And that the power narrative as well. Shout out to Raymond Webb. He says over 90% of Steam gamers still game at 1080p. Exactly, right? Put it like this, right? Locked frame rate is all that really matters. You know what I mean? Talk that shit, right? That's why I'm saying one of the best benefits of PC is the freedom of it, right? But they don't want to talk about that.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Like, walk into the Apple store and be like, hey,
and here we go with these analogies. Why can't you just talk about what he's saying head on, right? Why can't you just talk about what he's straight up saying? The dude literally said, he started off, these are his own words. He said, more games and power, right? Like, what more do we need to talk about? Why are we doing all this shit with analogies?
You're buying that iPhone there. Did you know you could spend twice as much and get one with a bigger screen and a better camera? And they're like, no. What would I...
And here we go with the twice as much.
...have done if you hadn't shown up to tell me the most obvious thing ever, that I can spend more money and get something that's better? Yeah, they know that. I don't think consumers are like lost on that reality. They can walk into the TV department of a Best Buy or a Target, and they can clearly see, if I spend more money, I can get something that's bigger and more powerful. Gee.
Right, pause. But that's not even what he's talking about. He's talking about the landscape and the fact that you have more freedom.
It's almost like that's a standard within the entire electronics and technology world, like across the board. You're not special because you spent more money on your PC. Like,
yeah, you're not special because you spent more money on your PC.
You sound like a PS5 cheerleader.
I mean, this is how he always gets whenever PC gets brought up in the conversation.
I'm not trying to burst your PC master race bubble, but like,
Oh, yes, you are. Oh, yes, you are. You're somewhat moving the goalposts, right? You're doing the whole
Stop the fear mongering.
talking about how expensive PC is and everything, where for $900 you can get a PC that performs on the same level as a Pro, can outperform the PS5 Pro. I mean, it definitely seems like
I
that.
already know what you think that you're bestowing on them with some sage wisdom. Like, oh, I had no idea that I could spend way more. You're having a different discussion? No, I'm having
Yes. You're having a false equivalency. You're having a completely different discussion, right? You've gone into the whole price, inflated prices and everything. Don't get me wrong, with RAM and everything, all hardware is expensive. The dude's not talking, he's not even talking about power. He's talking about the landscape. That's it, right? Now, granted, we can go down that avenue, right? If you want to spend the money and everything, you can get a PC. You can build a rig to what you need it for or what you prefer, right? But he's talking about the landscape, the ecosystems and whatnot, right? And you're completely dodging that.
discussion I want to have. Get on board or get out. I was looking at Twitter and talking about
Wow.
I hammer them.
Yeah. You're not running with the narratives that I want to run about PC, right?
Stop the fear mongering.
I want to talk about how the PC prices have gone through the roof, even though it's the same in console land, right? Even though these guys thought that they weren't going to get hit by the RAM shortages and whatnot, they thought Sony was going to protect them. I mean, this is crazy. So now you're telling this guy that he could leave because he's not saying what you want to hear.
That I could spend way more. You're having a different discussion? No, I'm having a discussion I want to have. Get on board or get out. I was looking at Twitter and talking about Totoki and talking about the state of PlayStation, and people were running.
Yeah, I was looking at Twitter and Totoki and talking about the state of PlayStation.
You sound like a PS5 cheerleader.
If you don't want to get on board, then you can get out, right?
With that narrative. I mean, if that's a different discussion, get involved or change it or add to it or leave. Like, you don't. What do you mean?
He's getting involved, and you're not even engaging in what he's saying.
You brought up that PC's better. I mean, that's what people were saying all weekend, and I'm like, yeah, people know that. Nobody's in the.
Oh, so then it's not the best place to play. Oh, but you're getting so defensive. He's just stating a fact. That's all, right? That's all that he's saying. He's saying that the statement that Hiroki Totoki said is a little bit platitudinous. Some might say even, bad faith. But listen, right? We all know they're trying to make some
Money.
right? They're just trying to fool you guys into thinking that it's the best place to play. And it seems like they've done a pretty good job. I mean, just look at how you're defending them. I mean, Lono, all he's doing is stating facts. And it seems like that gets you a little bit upset,
Don't
Lono.
talk about the fact that they can spend more money. Like, oh my gosh, did you mean to tell me I could spend more than $599 on a console and get a stronger piece of equipment? Where would I be without you, Master Race? Like, no one's in the dark about that reality.
Then you shouldn't get upset by his statement, his simple statement.
Dad of dads with 44 months, welcome back in. It's all
Right, and shout out to Sin Duke, right? He says, if I can get 120 FPS 4K on an 800 PC, why get a PlayStation? Exactly. They don't want to have that conversation, brother. They don't want to talk about it. That's why whenever they talk about this shit, they start making it seem like, you got to pay all this money and everything. It's just very bad faith and platitudinous, right? To say the least, right? My bad. I'm trying to like this shit. My shit's acting silly. Goddamn.
About what the market wants and will support, not about what you can spend. Sure, you can spend way more money on a car. That doesn't mean those really expensive cars sell as many as the more mid-level, consumer-level cars that are sold every year. AOZ says, if the PC community were more accepting of PSN linking and didn't try to make a war between PC and PlayStation, I think PlayStation games would still be coming to PC.
Oh, wow.
Is this where the console losers hang out? I'm a corporate bootlicker no matter what.
And to be fair, that's somebody chatting in, but pretty much, so we had to play nice, right? And if we would have complied with the rules of PlayStation, then we would still be getting PlayStation games, right? I mean, it seems like they're still putting the live service games on there. It's funny how much, how much their ego has grown from this rumor.
It's an interesting observation.
Brother, that's a dog shit. That's a dog shit observation. That's pretty much saying do what the corpo says, right? When they say jump, you say how high, pretty much, right? Pretty much be a PlayStation cheerleader, right? And it's so funny. I thought that this was Mr. Pro-consumer, Lono, right? You sound like a goddamn...
Sound like a PS5 cheerleader.
I mean, it's just crazy. Crazy work.
That's an interesting observation. You know what I mean? Like, in my mind, If they were able
Be careful, Lono. Because anybody who's been watching the streams, he loves to use this instance right here, because usually when this topic comes up,
I hammer them.
he likes to make it seem like, you know, he's real tough on PlayStation about this, and he doesn't agree with the fact that they did all that shit with the PlayStation, with the PSN login and everything. Don't you walk back on that, Lono, right? Don't do it.
To get that adoption rate and those PSN signups, they might be like, hey, you know, that's a pretty great little platform over there. But everyone's like, we don't want to do that. We hate your stuff. We hate you. We're going to pirate Spider-Man 17 minutes after it launched.
Wow.
It's like,
wow. Right?
I'm a corporate bootlicker no matter what.
So now this is what I mean. They'll take a rumor and literally start trying to spin narratives with it, right? So now because the PC guys, because we didn't want to comply with the PlayStation Network sign-in and everything, and it's funny because I'm pretty sure they bent the knee on that shit. Right? It's funny what happens when you don't bend over for these corporations. Now they're trying to make it seem like it was the PC guys' fault. It's our fault that PlayStation is quote-unquote pulling back on PC, according to a rumor.
I wonder why they're deciding, you know, to back off of putting their games on PC.
COPES. I mean, are they deciding that, or is that just a rumor that you guys are running with like it's fact, so you guys can fuel these narratives, right? Because let's just be honest, you guys are coping that the games stay exclusive, right? Because we all know it means a lot to you. That's what it seems like to me, brother, right? It doesn't seem like PlayStation has said anything, right? That's what's funny about all this.
You know what I mean? Sora with a $2 super chat. Forget PCs, the IRL ray tracing is crazy. Now, I'm not saying that, like, you should have played ball, PC boys.
Oh, yes, you are.
Nope.
My bad. That's exactly what you're saying. And it's funny because usually you get on your high horse and you use this as an example when you're tough on PlayStation. That's exactly what you're saying. You're pretty much saying that if we would have complied, if we would have gotten down on our knees and did whatever Daddy Sony said, that we would be getting their games, right? And mind you, all this is coming from a fucking rumor that you heard, right? Dude, they're either not putting or pulling, only to come back begging for us to buy them. Exactly. Shout out to Delta. We all know they want that
Money.
right? But I mean, but look at this shit, right? They must defend PlayStation, right?
Or, you know, PlayStation.
Look at that pony twinkle in his eye. Oh, he's so happy, right? I'm telling you, they were so arrogant. They was feeling themselves this week.
Played ball, PC boys. Or, you know, PlayStation's taking their ball and going home. But when, like, the default stance was one of, it was like a battle from moment one.
We need war.
What are you talking about, brother? It was them trying to sell a product to consumers. That's all that it ever was, right? But, you know, you're tribalistic.
We need war.
So I could see you definitely seeing it like that.
It was like, wait, this is antagonistic? This is going to be a relationship drenched in animosity?
Brother, they're trying to get our money. What are we supposed to just...
Be a good consumer.
We know that's how you guys are, right? I mean, you guys will even pay to access your internet. And then you'll turn around and defend them when they say that PlayStation is the best place to play. Sorry that we don't want to jump through unnecessary hoops, right? Now you're going to say that this is one of the reasons, right? You're somewhat implying that that could possibly be part of the reason why they're pulling away from PC, even though we know they're still putting their live service games on PC. I mean, all this is just ridiculous. Like this rabbit hole has just gotten so convoluted.
Well, okay. That's not a great market to sell your product, is it? Like, do you know what I'm saying? It would be like...
They are taking their ball and going home if they do end up taking their single-player games away from PC. Everything that happened the last 6 years is on Sony and how poorly they handle things. Exactly, precisely. Right? If all of it does turn out to be true, right, then that's on them because they didn't want to put the games day and date, right? They wanted to bring us games late, full price, and the games were lackluster, right? It's a different community. We're not just going to glaze a game because it has a PlayStation logo at the bottom, right? That doesn't just equal quality to us, right? Shout out to Gourmet. He says, I didn't buy them when I had a PS5, and I'm not going to buy now, right? Talk that shit, right? He said, shit, I had a PS5, and I wasn't buying them hoes.
I don't know. It would be like trying to sell jerseys for the rival team in the rival.
We need war.
Mind you, this is Mr. Tribalistic. This is Mr. Oh, these guys make it their identity. What the fuck are you talking about? You notice whenever he talks about hardware, it always gets like this with him. He always starts saying Team Green, these guys, pick a team and everything.
We need war.
This is what I mean. Like the whole gaming talk show LARP, it always falls apart during all of his streams, right? And it just shows that he's just a little console fanboy.
Rival city. You know what I mean? Pick a rival.
No, I don't know what you mean, a rival city. I don't know what you mean at all, right? They came into a market, the PC market, a market that will give you
Money.
if you provide them with good products. I mean, Capcom has entered the chat, and you're over here talking about they stepped into a rival scene or a rival jersey. What the fuck are you talking about?
Dynasty and go try and sell jerseys in the wrong city. Like, it would be like from moment one, you're dealing with...
Brother, they were selling their games on Steam. Steam is known for games, right? If they were good games, they would have done well. I mean, shit, look at Stellar Blade. Stellar Blade took off. Shit, look at Helldivers. Right? I mean, that shit's... It was us who bought that shit. It's the same thing's going on with Marathon. Even though it looks like Marathon's on its last leg. I mean, dog, if there's good games, people will buy the shit. That's simple. I don't know why he's sitting here talking about teams and rivalries and whatnot. All it just sounds like to me is...
We need war.
Very sad.
Just, it's a fight. It's like, screw you, buddy. Get out of here. We don't want your team's jerseys. Like...
No, it's just we don't want to jump through fucking hoops, unnecessary hoops, right? We're not just going to bend over for PlayStation, goddamn.
Sorry, player. You out of Vaseline now.
I mean, there's more games on Steam to shake a stick at, right? We're not sitting around waiting for a couple of games every year.
That's almost what it felt like from moment one. It was like, yeah, we'll play your game.
And what do you mean that's what it felt like from day one? Right? You don't work for PlayStation. You don't know what it felt like. You don't understand. You don't know what their process has been like, what their results have been like, right? All you've heard is just rumors and everything. What is this guy talking about?
And then we'll pirate them. Oh, and also, we don't want to do PSN. Now, I said the PSN implementation was stupid. I think PlayStation handled it really poorly.
Yeah, but now look at you. Now you're sitting here saying that us PC guys, that we handled it poorly, and that if we would have been nicer to Sony, then maybe you guys would still be getting PlayStation games, right? Even though it seems like we are getting PlayStation games, even though you guys will find a way just to hand wave them, right? And say that they don't count. I mean, dog, this is wicked work for you, Lono. And this is what I'm saying. It's so sad because typically you like to use this as one of those times where you stood up to PlayStation and let them have it, you know? Goddamn.
I hammer them.
Yeah, but all that's just going out the window.
Garian, thank you so much for a member. I mean, hindsight's...
Why do people love PlayStation so much? They release one game a year. They don't give refunds, etc. It never makes sense to me. Great question. I'm not going to lie, though. It does make for some great content.
2020. But I think from a PR perspective, they could have come out and said, listen, we would like to offer this as a feature, and we're willing to give you things in the game just for linking your PSN. They should have incentivized it and met the PC users halfway.
It still wouldn't have worked.
Instead of just like bludgeoning Helldivers 2 with it, and then you didn't need it for Tsushima, but you needed it for Legends, but then you needed it for God of War Ragnarok. I think PlayStation really mishandled that. I think if they would have handled that better, and they would have been more winsome about it, if they would have gone to Helldivers and said, you know what, in light of the circumstances, we would like you to set up a PSN and link it. We're not going to make you, but if you do it, we'll give you the next war bond.
Nope. Not happening.
Still wouldn't have done that shit.
Something like that. Because the data and getting people to sign up for PSNs is probably worth the price of a
And that's the point. People didn't want to give them the data.
Premium war bond. So if they would have incentivized it, if they would have met the PC users halfway, they may have won some goodwill as well as some traction with, hey, it's worth linking your PSN. Now, obviously, you got to be careful with optics here. I'm just shooting from the hip. You don't want your PlayStation user base feeling like, hey, we didn't get anything.
I mean, dog, they charge you guys to access the internet, right? If you want to play this game online, you got to pay money, brother. They're not worried about you guys feeling like you're not getting anything, right? Delta says that's another thing too. The whole PSN debacle screwed them over as much because they locked themselves out of so many regions that didn't have PlayStation Network, right? And the sales reflect that. Good point. That's another time where they shot themselves in the foot, right? And shout out to Sindu. He says, so just take Sony without fighting. Gotcha. Exactly. If we would have handled it better, right? If we would have done, like I said, when PlayStation says jump, you're supposed to say how high. You're supposed to jump to the hoops and give them your information, your data, whatnot. And then you would have gotten the precious Sony games, right?
We don't get anything free, huh? Blah, whatever. Like,
I mean, you guys pay to access your internet. You wouldn't give a fuck about that.
you got to be careful with that. But on a game,
No, they don't. No, they don't.
you sound like a PS5 cheerleader.
And you specifically, I got this one for you, right?
I'm a corporate bootlicker no matter what.
Oh, buddy, you're going to be a corporate bootlegger no matter what.
Game by game basis, they could have motivated people to connect their PSN and been like, we'll give you a free cosmetic. We'll give you a free something. It doesn't have to be as significant as a war bond. But PlayStation didn't really meet the users halfway.
Yep.
Zubair says, PC players aren't sensitive. They are set in their ways. There's an entire established culture. Coming in and trying to change things is a bold strategy.
Wow. Rare W for Zubair, right? Precisely.
I tend to agree. I was like, I don't think you know what you're dealing with here. You're dealing with the Steam user base. They ain't going to make a dadgum PSN, dude. They ain't going to do it. Now, you give them an incentive, and you might have got a percentage
Nope. Not happening.
Negative.
of, Helldivers people, Helldivers
Yeah, as much as PlayStation gets hacked, why would I want them with my data? Good point.
players to make a PSN. You know what I mean? I grew up in Philly. I hate seeing garbage Cowboys gear in stores. Offense intended. No. And here's the thing. If somebody came to your city and they opened up and that's all they sold was the rival team's gear, it would be probably a bad strategy. It probably wouldn't go very well.
He keeps on using this sport analogy. I don't know what he's talking about, brother. Like, we're gamers. We just want to have access to games. What the fuck is he talking
Like,
about?
if you start out adversarial, like in your immediate business interaction, like if from moment one it feels adversarial, like we're against you, well, we are your adversary. It's like, well, okay, this isn't going to go very well.
I mean, all these corporations just want money. I don't know what he's talking about with this sports analogy.
I think the point is PlayStation at some level, there could be multiple levels at play here. The diminished sales, the lack of people signing up for PSN, the branded Helix, the branded Steam machine, efforts with PSSR 3.0, PSSR.
Oh, God.
I am gay for the pro.
Here we go, right? All this is what I'm saying. He's extrapolating all this from a goddamn rumor, right? This just sounds like fan fiction.
PSSR 3.0 is going to be foundational to the PlayStation 6. So if your PS6 has got exclusives that everybody knows is going to go to the PC landscape and then look better.
I mean, that was the case this whole entire gen, and you guys still glazed the PlayStation, right? And it still sold 90 million consoles sold, right? I mean, that was the case this gen.
That it's really hard. That's really difficult to be like, hey, look how great our technology is, ... for now. Like, if
That's what you guys have been doing, right? And get this, you guys called them console exclusives.
if it is in fact true, I was told,
Oh, God.
and this was years ago, I was told Mark Cerny wanted to close the gap on
Oh, my
PC.
God.
I think that's what Project Amethyst is all about.
Wow.
Project
Because of a fucking upscaler. Dog, when it has access to multiple storefronts, right? When you can open it and upgrade it at your will, right? And fine-tune it to your preferences, then maybe we can have that discussion, buddy, right? Like, this is what I mean. They don't understand the value of PC gaming, and it has them looking foolish every single time, man. Shout out to Lazy Titan, man. W's in the chat for Lazy Titan. He's been a member for 6 months. He says, what's up, man? Thanks for the content. Love you. I love you too, my brother, right? I'm glad to see you, dog. Shout out to everybody that watches this shit, man. I really do appreciate you guys, man. W's for Lazy Titan, man. I hope you're doing good.
Amethyst is
Yeah, spoiler, console will never close the gap on PC. Yeah, because they're going to keep that ecosystem walled, right? Shout out to Lazy Titan, man. W's in the chat, right? Crazy, insane, right? W's in the chat, man. We got Raven Webb. I've never trusted Sony sales number. You guys already know. Talking that shit. That's why it is so funny, man. It's crazy. They will never get rid of that walled ecosystem because that's how they make their
Money.
they literally make money. Like, the ecosystem is designed to extract funds from you, right? Like, that's the whole point. That's why they don't allow you to go to other
all
storefronts.
about saying, yeah, that's great. You can spend that kind of money on a PC. Yeah, you go, girl. Go ahead.
You go, girl.
Yeah.
All right, and shout out to Kenneth Williams, all right? Sigs with the gold body content. You already know, man. W's in the chat, man. I appreciate you guys, all right? I appreciate you guys.
Box for $700 that can do all that tech. Yeah, we have ray tracing. Yeah, we have path tracing. Yeah, we have upscaling. Oh no, yeah, 4K. Yeah, 60. Oh no, yeah, we got all that. The average consumer is going to say,
I mean, do you guys have all that?
that sounds amazing. That sounds fantastic. Oh, but I can buy.
Right, and shout out to Cake Man. He says, let's hit the goal, right? I see you guys are talking that shit. You guys already know, right? I mean, you guys been going off.
We have a box for $700 that can do all that tech. Yeah, we have ray
And I thought that it was $900.
tracing. Yeah, we have path tracing. Yeah, we have upscaling.
No, you guys don't.
Oh no, yeah, 4K. Yeah, 60. Oh no, yeah, we got all that. The average
4K 60. No, you guys do not.
consumer is going to say, that sounds amazing. That sounds fantastic.
Oh, but I thought that the average console consumer didn't care about all the bells and whistles. I thought they just wanted to plug and play, man. And shout out to Razor Ultron, man. W's in the chat, man. Shout out to Razor Ultron. I appreciate it, my brother.
Fantastic. Oh, but I can buy. Yeah, that's fine. You can do that. The average consumer, think about.
Yeah, does that box do mods as well, right? Pause. Does that box give me free online? Talk that shit. No, it does not, right? They need that
Money.
right? As our good friend of the channel, Marlon says,
Sorry, player. You out of Vaseline now.
out of Vaseline now.
What Hiroki Totoki said.
Oh God.
They want the PlayStation to be the best place to play. ... In the mind of the user. They want the user to think this is the best place to play.
Oh, so they're lying. Oh, but wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute, you guys. But what about my marketing? What about my marketing? So they want you to believe it's the best place to play, even though it's not. And listen, like I said, they'll sell you guys on anything, right? And like I said, I give them props because they sure do got you guys.
I am gay for the pro.
But isn't it so funny how this guy loves to talk about my marketing and everything? So you have no problem with him saying that it's the best place to play, even though you and your mama know that's not the case. Interesting how he doesn't have a problem with PlayStation somewhat deceiving the audience, right? Wait, he admits that Sony lies? Hey, listen, you heard it right here for yourself, right? You heard it right here.
They want the user to think this is the best place to play.
Yeah.
You can always go in and say, yeah, but the tech is old, or but
Yes.
this is better, or this is stronger.
It's not the best place to play. Right? Shout out to Cake Man. He says, so he's okay with misleading marketing now. Yes, right?
You sound like a PS5 cheerleader.
Oh, it's Sony, dude. No harm, no foul, right? You know, it's a perception semantic thing. This is what I'm saying. This is Mr. Consumer Advocate, right? Don't lie to the consumers. A guy comes into his chat and pretty much tells him like, oh, well, you know, I think that PC is the best is the best landscape, and he just starts yapping. All right? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Cake Man, right? He says Pearl Abyss has entered the chat. Oh, yeah, I told you that was just a farce. I told you he was just LARPing as a consumer advocate. We all know that Lono is just,
I'm a corporate bootlicker no matter what.
you know, he's a corporate bootlicker no matter what, man. Shout out to Cake Man.
It doesn't matter if the user thinks it's the best place to play.
Yeah, so it's okay for them to be fooled. And I'll be honest with you, one thing I will give these guys, they really do think it's the best place to play. Like, and I'm being so serious, I'm not even being hyperbolic. A Cope sip. Right? And shout out to Rock Wool. He says, Sigs, I won't say names, but the word is PlayStation is going to go with their own launcher and give dual entitlement like Xbox Play Anywhere. That's the hook. Hey, listen. They gonna have to do something, right? You know, we'll have to wait and see, right? That's one thing about your boy Sig. We just sit back and document, right, and watch these guys twist themselves into pretzel over these weak ass narratives, man. Shout out to Rock Wool. We'll just have to wait and see what they got for us, right? Pause.
I say they're scamming people. If they convince people it's the best place to play, they're scamming them. I'm like,
Oh, well, isn't it technically like literally a scam? Right, I said technically literally, but you get what I mean. Isn't that like quite literally what scamming? Like, aren't they pretty much deceiving people if they're saying that they want it to be the best, to be known as the best place to play when it's not?
they're not. What? No, they're not. They're not
Oh.
scamming them. That's a subjective term.
Oh,
Best place to play could be it's the most convenient. It's the most economical decision in light of how expensive it is to get really strong PCs.
but it's not. And you see what he just did there to get really strong PCs. That's what they always have to do. They always have to go to 5090s. They have to always go to the high-end rigs when these will be the first people who sit here and say, "Oh, most of the PCs on the Steam survey are weaker than the PS5." Right? They love throwing that around and everything when the Steam machine came about. So which one is it, Lono? Right? It's just funny how cool he is with them misleading people. He has no problem. Usually he's a stickler for marketing.
It's the easiest to set up. It's got a great lineup. It's the best place to play because in their mind, well, it's the only.
Rock Wolf is saying it's not just word on the street. There is documented things to back it up. Hey, like I said, we'll just have to wait and see, man. For real, for real. Shout out to Rock Wolf though, man.
Expensive it is to get really strong PCs. It's the easiest to set up. It's got a great lineup. It's the best place to play because in their mind, well, it's the only.
Shout out to Razor Ultron. He says, remember Sigs is Filipino and goals are in metric, right? I don't even know what that means. Always got to be bad faith and everything. I am a black man, right? Shout out to Raymond Webb. All right, he says, Sony don't have the infrastructure for Play Anywhere. Damn. He's trying to say that they don't have the
Money.
all right? Like I said, right? I'm not going to get on my boardroom saying shit. But we'll see, right? We will see. It should be interesting, man.
Place you can play Wolverine or Saros or Yote.
All right, shout out to Raymond Webb and Razor Ultron, man. I appreciate it, you guys.
Or God of War Egypt or Intergalactic. Like, as that lineup gets large, I mean,
brother, that lineup, you name, 2 or 3 games, that lineup is looking very sparse.
I think that's the only thing that's going to work against their marketing. I don't know if they're going to want to walk out and do the whole only on PlayStation thing. Like, are they going to want to do that given that there are games that they made that's not true about?
You would love for them to do that.
Are we talking about only on PlayStation when that's not true for, like, God of War 2018 and God of War Ragnarok? Like,
I mean, they're saying it's the best place to play, right? And that's not true.
I just don't know if the potency of that terminology.
Yeah, the lineup gets large will take over a decade. Good luck with that, I guess. Yeah, if you got the time to wait.
Has lost its appeal because it's like, well, yeah, you're only going to say that for games going forward, so that's kind of weird. Like, you're going to have, like, this new batch of exclusives that are only on PlayStation. Like, I don't know. How is it a scam? You know exactly what you're paying for. I am convinced, Zubair,
oh God,
more than ever, that people hear a word that they interpret as a word of strength, and then that's the word they will use.
Like you do with platitudinous or bad faith, or more so a term with bad faith, but like you do.
Right? Scam,
platitudinous.
fake frames, not native.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
that's all true. That's all true. What do you mean? That's all true, right? This is the PC Master Race PC Master Race Cope right here.
Use these terms because they think the term will win the argument. I genuinely think that's what it is. Like,
all the things that you just mentioned are valid.
See the word scam as like a weapon in the arsenal.
Oh.
Like, you sound like you are a male feminist.
All the stuff Alex says, just say his name, coward, right? You know he's not going to do that, right? You already know.
Nope. Not happening.
He likes to throw stones and hide his hands, right? And it's so sad because this is 2026. I thought he was going to be saying things full-chested.
Almost like they're playing Pokemon. They're like,
here we go.
I choose you, Scamachu. And they throw out the word scam, and they're like, what do you think of that? What do you think of my argument now? I said scam.
I'm a corporate bootlicker no matter what.
Mind you, this was the guy 2 weeks ago who was calling everybody corporate simps and everything. Look at how hard he's trying to defend and validate his purchase. I mean, just look at the look on this guy's face.
And you're like, define scam. And they're like, huh. I choose you, Google. And they're like, they look up scam and they're like, oh, wait, the word doesn't apply here. So I choose you, ad hominem,
Oh.
Well, you're just a pony. You're just a shill. Like, that's the way the argument goes almost every time. It's like you're dealing with someone who's just grabbing from, like...
I mean, brother.
You sound like a PS5 cheerleader.
You are 1,000% a PlayStation cheerleader, right? And you're very tribalistic. Like, you were just discussing, PlayStation games coming to PC, and you used an analogy about a fucking sports team coming in with a rival jersey and everything.
We need war.
Like, you're so goofy whenever you try to have these gaming conversations.
A little armory of Pokemon, and the Pokemon are just words that they think are strong.
Cake Man saying, no, dude, he's a shareholder with the platform. I've heard people say that about him.
And when it doesn't work, they always just pull out the be-all, end-all of the discussion, and they attack you. And it's like, yeah, that's like their last Pokemon that they always throw out at the end, is Pokemon ad hominem.
I say, you, dude, you're public facing, and your news show is a dog shit, right? Your gaming show is a dog shit, and you're definitely a fanboy,
They would say the
right? Suffer, Lonos.